Hello everybody, this is a blog after round two, or vlog. That was a morning game. So I played against a good player actually, a guy called Alexander Debagazi. Originally I believe he's from Georgia, but now he's been living in Belgium for many years. And he's 2550. Used to be 2550, but his rating's gone down a little bit like most older GMs like myself, affected by rating deflation. However, I had quite a good position. He said in a post-mortem that he correctly identified a mistake actually was taken on d4, because the point is that his follow-up knight e3 was obviously, you start to realize you can't play that move, because then I eventually win the queen. Now he does have sufficient material for it, but his king's too exposed in the middle, so that would have been a losing variation for black. So instead he castled queenside. And then it's funny actually, because when we looked at post-mortem, he said I could have gone for queen a4, bishop b5 plan, which was quite reasonable, but the computer didn't like that actually. When I checked it later with a computer, it liked what I did, knight e4, knight g3. So what I did was correct. So my gut feeling was correct. However, we got to move 20, and I mentioned this yesterday. We got to move 21 actually. He offered a draw, Sophia rules. I thought I'd messed it up, but in fact the computer still gives me quite a big edge, maybe even +2 or +3, because the bishop pair, his king is weak. Surprising actually that white is so much better there. But I should have showed some courage. This is part of my problem in chess. I don't have much self-belief. Despite a lot of achievements, despite the Grandmaster title, ultimately lack belief. I need to really show some more courage in these remaining rounds. There's another afternoon game later. As I have actually had a brainwave. So in my opinion, 2 games a day is not great. And there's a lot of tournaments which are 9 rounds with 2 games every day for 5 days to save money. So my brainwave was FIDE should change the rules on norms, because the reason they do 9 games rather than, let's say we had 6 games in 5 days, which would be more reasonable, because then you don't have 2 days, sorry, 1 day with 2 games, or you could have 7 games, which I think is also reasonable. 7 games in 5 days. So FIDE, I think, could change the rules to reflect the change in attitude by organisers, where there's so many rounds. There's so many tournaments which are compressed. They're really not enjoyable to play 2 games a day, in my opinion. 2 classical games a day is so draining. Obviously, when you're taking a quick draw like that, you can't really talk, but so in my opinion, that could be a way forward. What you could also, maybe you could have half norms, where you have 5 round tournaments, and that would count as a half norm. So if you got a sufficient rating performance and played, say, 2 GMs or 1 GM, obviously you can't play 1.5 GMs unless you cut me in half. That would count as a norm as well, or an IM norm. What do people think? I think they need to change the rules. I think you could really say 7 rounds now is sufficient for a GM norm, and obviously that would make it easy to become a GM. But I think they need to change the change. Need to reflect the changing world of chess. I got another tough game in the afternoon. I'm playing against a 16-year-old player rated 2300. Obviously, very good rating for a 2300 player. I need to win a game at some point. If I get bogged down in too many draws, it's not going to be good. I'm going to lose ground to other people winning games. So it's not good. It's going to be a tough tournament to win a decent prize in, I'm afraid. I'm going to ask about travel expenses as well, because I spent a fortune on travel, including Eurostar and the train from where I live in Northumberland down to London. Will be in total, just that train alone will be in total 182 quid, over 182 quid, because the single, you can only get singles now, you can't get return. The single was £91. So you pay on the day, you end up paying 182 quid in total. Plus the Eurostar was something similar, maybe even slightly more. And then you also have to get a ticket from Brussels to Bruges. Now I could have got the plane. Plane isn't necessarily cheap. Might have been a cheaper option though. I could have got the plane to Brussels, or the plane to Amsterdam, then got another train which would have been more expensive than, say, Brussels to Bruges. Amsterdam Bruges would have been maybe €100 or something like that. You get a plane, so I've had to get to Newcastle Airport, which probably take about an hour and a half, and then probably have to get there about an hour and a half for the plane. So that's 3 hours in total. And then on the other side, we've been about another 4 hours travel from Amsterdam to Bruges. So you're looking at maybe 8 hours. But the way I did it was like 11 hours. It's too much, really. I mean, if they ask me again next year, I might even decline, because it's just too much and you're spending too much money when the prizes aren't that great. So yeah, it was getting more and more like where I'm feeling like I just want to quit chess, because when I play games like I did this morning, where I didn't play badly, but I'm taking draws and stuff like that, I don't feel like I'm doing myself justice. And I'm spending out all this money, and my rate is dropping all the time, and it's just costing me a fortune to play when I'm not really enjoying it. What was the point? I do enjoy it in a way. I enjoy the mental challenge. That's enjoyable, but there's a lot of it about I don't enjoy. So interesting to see what people think about the whole thing. Am I moaning too much, complaining too much? Probably am, but this is the reality of being a chess professional. But also, can you give me comments about what you think about my norm suggestion? So anyway, so I'm on to round 3. I'll try and play a decent game in round 3, and then yeah, I just want to win a game in this tournament. It's tough because everybody's strong.